Sex between coaches and teenagers in their care to be made illegal in England and Wales. That's the good news. That's one of those things that it puzzles you why it wasn't illegal already, but apparently not. Someone sent me a petition the other day, one of those government petitions where if you get enough signatures they have to take it seriously, and it said make it illegal for members of parliament to mislead the public. How is that not illegal already? But apparently certain loopholes in the law mean that sex between coaches and teenagers in their care might not necessarily be illegal. That's obviously teenagers over the age of 16, otherwise it would be illegal full stop. But there is some loophole that some sports leaders and religious leaders have been using to abuse people. So this is the good news, and on the face of it, this headline might make the crime bill quite welcoming. I mean, no one's going to disagree with that, but let's scratch the surface a little bit further. Here's an interesting detail. As part of the bill, deaf people could sit on juries for the first time, with sign language interpreters allowed into jury deliberation rooms. Well, that's a good thing. There's no reason why deaf people should be excluded from serving on a jury. But what else will the crime bill do? Let's hear from Cressida Dick, the Met Police Commissioner. What are we going to do? The measures in the bill will allow the police to take a more proactive approach in managing highly disruptive protests causing serious disruption to the public. Highly disruptive protests causing serious disruption. Yeah, they usually cause the most disruption, don't they? The highly disruptive protests. So they'll be able to be more proactive. Well, what does that mean? They can arrest you more quickly. How are we going to do it? They will widen the range of conditions that the police can impose on static protests to match existing police powers to impose conditions on marches. Right, so there is a difference between a march and a static protest. So this would seem to suggest that the police are currently more able to restrict a march, whereas if you've got a static protest, and I've been to a few static protests, you are a bit freer as things stand, but they want to be able to treat static protests as if they were a march. Background. Freedom of assembly and freedom of expression are vital rights that the United Kingdom fully supports. Are they? The rights of an individual to express their opinion and protest are a cornerstone. Interesting that the police would use the word cornerstone. I'm just being paranoid. Of our democratic society. There is and will remain a balance to be struck between the rights of the protester and the rights of individuals to go about their daily business. Yeah, I remember when Extinction Rebellion brought Marble Arch to a standstill for several weeks. The police seemed to be quite easygoing with that protest. They seemed to facilitate it. Unless I'm wrong, maybe you were on the Extinction Rebellion protest and you got trampled by a horse. Let me know if you differ with me on that one. But I think the police allowed that protest to go right ahead in a way it wouldn't have had there been a different group protesting. Perhaps some of the PSC, the Solidarity campaign protests wouldn't have been treated as kindly as that one, the Extinction Rebellion protest. But maybe I'm wrong. Also, I remember St. Paul's Cathedral being surrounded by tents That was, I think, the Occupy movement. So what we're looking for here probably as citizens is some kind of consistency. And whatever protest happens, usually the protesters will later that day compare their protest to how other people were treated. And you will hear those that protest the lockdown, for example, saying, oh, we were treated much more harshly than the Black Lives Matter movement. And sometimes the Black Lives Matter movement will say, we were treated much more harshly than the animal rights movement, or whoever it is. So we're always biased towards our own campaign, of course, but you would hope to have some consistency across the board and freedom of speech for all. But certainly it would seem that this bill is reducing the level of freedom of speech for everyone. So I suppose if no one can say anything, at least that's fair. That could be regarded as equality or equity, which is apparently much more important than equality. How will protesters' rights be protected? Okay, protesters' rights. Are these not human rights? Do we not all have the right to protest? This is almost sounding like protesters are some kind of different category of people. Probably because 90% of the UK population don't consider themselves a protester. They haven't felt the need to get up and protest. Although a large section of the population, a lot of women will have felt that they should be raising their voice recently. The murder of Sarah Everard, I think that resonated with about 50% of the population. When using these or existing public order powers, the police must act within the law. Oh, really? That's good. The police have to obey the law then, and be able to demonstrate that their use of powers are necessary and proportionate. So pinning that woman to the floor the other night in Clapham was presumably necessary. They must act compatibly with human rights, principally Article 10, freedom of expression, and Article 11, freedom of association. So don't forget, above all this, regardless of what legislation may come into place or be changed in the United Kingdom, we do have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which I think should supersede all of it, doesn't it? Or maybe it doesn't, I'm not sure. But there is, of course, the good old common law, which a lot of people seem to have been quoting recently with varying degrees of success, and saying, you cannot arrest me, I am a free citizen under my inalienable right. I'm not sure how useful the whole common law thing is. Maybe someone who knows a little bit more about it could inform me whether it is useful. And it reminds me, of course, of that legal name fraud conspiracy theory that was doing the rounds a while ago, that meant because your name on your birth certificate is in capital letters that the government don't really own you, or something like that. Maybe you could give me a little bit of advice on that one as well. I feel like I'm asking for quite a lot today and maybe not offering much, but what can I say? Lessons for Life is an exchange of knowledge and opinions and experience. So I want you to give me some lessons for life, okay? It can't be all just take. Legal name fraud. Give me some advice on that one. And common law. One of the key points that emerges from this, and it's kind of obvious where it came from, is the plans to increase the maximum penalty for criminal damages of a memorial from 3 months to 10 years. Whoa. From 3 months to 10 years for criminal damage to a memorial. So this is one for the Black Lives Matter people. This is clearly having a pop at you and trying to deter you from toppling any more statues, or anyone who is against celebrating slavery and all the rest of it. But to go from 3 months to 10 years, that's quite a jump, isn't it? What's that, 40 times? That's a good quick bit of maths. Increasing the sentence 40 times, 3 months to 10 years. Wow, somebody doesn't want anybody to go around damaging statues. Goodness. Anyway, let me know what you think about the crime bill. Are you delighted that deaf people will now be on the jury? Were you pleased to hear that news? Or are you more pleased about the fact that coaches can no longer abuse teenagers in their care? I think we all agree with those positive points, but don't forget to read the small print. Your human rights, your right to freedom of expression and freedom of association. These are rights worth standing up for.